woman, mother, auntie. Oba means woman. Let us unite. Oba, oh, this is our time. Let's hear it, girls. Oba, oh, this is our time.
Hello there and welcome to Superwoman, the program that brings extraordinary women to your television set. And in today's edition of Superwoman, I got a strong, intelligent, not just beautiful, but brilliant Superwoman with me today. And we are going to be discussing everything Lisa. Her name is Lisa Daisy. She's a Superwoman for today, and she'll be telling us her upbringing, her challenges, her power that can empower her to be as strong as she is. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you so much.
I know, I can see the smile.
Yeah, hola. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm privileged to be in your studios today. And I hope we will have lengthy discussion.
And you're privileged to be a Superwoman today.
Yeah, I am.
So what's that strength that makes you a Superwoman?
Oh, the strength that makes me a Superwoman is the courage to do what I want to do and doing it at the best way of myself.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your upbringing, and where you grew up, and how was it?
Okay, like you said, my name is Lisa Mountain Daisy.
Wow, Mountain.
And that Mountain, you will always hear that name from Western Liberia. I'm from Grand Cape Mount County, and I'm from Tewa District. And our district is almost bordering Sierra Leone. So it's almost like I'm a cross-border Liberian.
Wow.
But I would like to say I'm from Tewa District and from Sanon Town. So that town is off the city limit, especially off Tewa city limit. So you have to travel almost 3 hours from the main place, from Bowadasa to my town. So I was born in Monrovia. To be specific,
Monrovia again.
Yeah. To be specific, around the ELWA area, that's where I was born, and I was born during the heat of the war. Yes, that was a challenging part for my parents to be able to take care of me during the sound of the bullets and all of that. It was really, really challenging, but they had to brave the storm to bring this woman, this strong and Superwoman to the world. So it was great that I came to the world, and I'm going to change what I want to change, and because I have the power, I'm going to do so. Within my own capacity as a person, as an individual, and as a woman who wants to see something good out there, I'm going to use my own strength to be able to change the world. I started my primary education at the Kennedy High School. I think you might have heard about that school before, where the Robert Johnson Hotel is now. They used to have the cultural center there. But then the high school was there, and it was a big high school, even though it was a government-run institution, but it was great at the time. It was providing quality education to young people, even any other person. So that's where I started my education, and later on, my auntie thought it wise that I would go and stay with her in Battlefield because all of her children were bigger, and she wanted someone to be like carrying her this way and that way because she was getting older. And she was my only sister from his father's side. But he had a lot of sisters from his mother's side.
So was it challenging growing up?
Yeah.
You know, regularly as a girl, there are a lot of challenges we face.
So true. Yeah, for me, the challenges were numerous. When I say numerous, my father, they didn't have a boy child.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were both the boy.
Yeah. I was both the boy, I was both the girl. My father had a first daughter, but she was also living with my auntie. So when she was there, I came afterwards. So I was the only person around. My father and mother didn't have any kids until I was 8 years old, imagine. So people in the community used to always say I was making some level of wage as not to have my parents having another kid or so. But that was not the case. It was just probably the time of God. But they cherished me, but they wanted me to learn. So I will see a lot of different housework, like hauling water, sweeping in the yard, helping my mom to cook, washing my smaller underwears. These were the kind of things that,
girls.
I mean around 6 years, because it was during the Ephesus war that we were moving from place to place. So when we came back, I think I was around 8, 9. So I started at that early age washing my smaller underwears, trying to find a small bucket. But yeah, because by the time I was washing my underwear, and I would take my small bucket, very small, and go to the pump, get water, even though it was not whole and solid being depending on me, but that portion of it, someone will use that water. So I took that as a work that I was doing, and every time in the morning when I wake up, I would try to take the broom, sweep the porch, so it got used to me until that work became mine. Okay. So drawing the water in a small bucket, as I grew up, it became mine. Then I left the porch. I came outside in the yard because we had a big yard. So I started to sweep the yard. That became my work automatically. Okay. So when I was growing up, sweeping the yard was my work. Washing the dishes, take that one from there, because mommy said that's my normal work.
It's normal for a girl child.
Oh yeah.
So when I sometimes talk about challenges, I sometimes talk about feel discriminated against. Were you ever treated the way you were treated because you are a girl child, or?
Yeah, for me to some level, it's our culture. Okay. Sometimes our culture plays pivotal role in the upbringing of ourselves, especially with our parents. Most of our parents have this culture and traditional background. So they tend not to sway to the civilized, quote-unquote, way of bringing up their children. So they will want to bring their children up in the way that their forefather did. So I feel that it's cultural, because if you don't want to go that way, your parents will feel you disrespectful. So you don't want to be a disrespectful child. You want to be that child that will listen to your parent. So in another sense, I feel that it was broken for me. But would I want to go and tell my mother? I bet I don't want to do that, because I will get beaten. Because she would tell me, yeah, you becoming a woman now, right? You know yourself now, and all of those comments will be like the way you just don't want people perceiving you that way, and you don't want to make your mother feel discouraged or feel bad even her friends. So you always want to cover up. But I feel that at this time that we are on right now, I don't think people should really be pressured to do what they can be able to do, or the workload on them should actually be reduced.
So tell me a little bit what you involved with right now.
Okay, I'm a Liberian journalist. I've been practicing in media for over 7 years. I started when I graduated from high school in 2009. I started at the King's FM, which is the Royal Communication Incorporated, and it's the President WIA station. So that's where I started my journey, and later moved to a journalism school where I had a diploma in journalism. And presently, I hold a Bachelor of Arts degree in communication, and I'm a working and full-time journalist.
Where do you work?
I work for the Monrovia Times newspaper. Monrovia Times is an online newspaper also, but we're trying to come up by May, July. We're going to be launching our newspaper that will come up regularly, and probably the first time we'll come out is going to be bi-weekly. So the next, maybe in a few months to come, we're going to be regular with our audience to people get more news. And sometimes I do contribution to Front Page Africa. So when you go on Front Page Africa website, you will see some of my stories.
So what are you involved when it comes to women empowerment or young women upliftment?
Okay, for now, I'm the chairlady for the Young Women Initiative for Development, Progress and Development. That group is called Your Wimpact. Your Wimpact was established in 2016, December. That group is in the business of training young women to be themselves, to be able to take up challenges that are ahead, because this contemporary world we stay in now, or we live in, we as women need to come up to the fore. Unless we come up to the fore, we cannot be able to achieve what we want to achieve. So as young women, we decided to come up, and the bringing behind whatever we had today was from Miss Lila Pukuyu. Miss Lila Pukuyu is the Secretary General of the Liberia Business Association. She's been pushing it, and we have the organization today is registered, and we have our offices around the 20th Street, Coleman Avenue. So that's basically what we're doing, because we find out that young women have not been able to come up, because when I said previously culture and tradition, it tried to hold us back. But should we always live to that? We cannot. So we have to move up to that. When I even was in school, I had a project proposal that I would work on training young women to be public speakers. So that was my dream all along when I was in the Innovative School for Leadership at the AME University. So we started to bring forth that idea. So they told us, what idea can you bring to change the world around you? I said, we go in class, girls are afraid to put their hands up, to come up to speak what they want to know, but they rather telling in the ears of the boy, I want to say this, or this is right. And almost all of their ideas are great, but do they have that courage to speak out? So we, as for me, I decided that we would train young students or young girls who are even in school, and even up to the college level. People still need to be nurtured, because it doesn't mean, quote unquote, you are in college, it means you know everything. You are just starting. So that idea was brought forth, and it was brought by the leadership school, and they thought that they would work with it. So I brought that same idea to Uwimpa. Most of the girls brought the idea, and we trying to maybe move up to the next stage of our.
So how many girls are you working with?
Presently, we are over 20 in the organization. So most girls are from AME University, African Methodist Episcopal University, because that's where I graduated from. So when I was in the school, I encouraged most of my friends to join the organization. So we moved our campaign over to UMU, the United Methodist University. So we took it up again to Stella Maris, and we took it up to the University of Liberia. So most young women were in a group, and they've developed interest. What we decided to do was to launch first a training program, because the goal of the organization is to train women for them to be able to take up their own goals tomorrow. So that's a whole branch of it. So before we bring in the mentorship kind of thing for public speaking, let's train our women first to be able to speak. Then from there, we start to mentor you on public speaking. And because some of them are really, really shy, I've worked with them.
Do you have a success story that you can touch and say, this is what we did?
Okay, yes. So when I started my journalistic profession, I moved in with it. It was a bit difficult because of the male-dominated profession. So when we will be in the field, you want to follow up something, what makes news and stuff like that, you go to the newsroom, and this editor is trying to tell you that that is a woman's story, or that story is light, it can't go on the news. You try to get discouraged. But what I did a story in 2015. Between 2013 and 2015, I did a story on rape. I guess you can remember one Musu died doing in VOA. So that story was reported on the Bush Chicken website. So when I got the information, because I was basically following the information on rape, so anything happening about sexual violence, people would come to me and tell me, oh Lisa, this is happening.
Okay, we will take a very quick break. We will come back, we will continue your success story, but we'll move gradually to your experience in the newsroom. We'll take a quick break. Stay tuned.
Calling all the women, every single woman, mother, auntie, or bride means woman. Let us unite. Oh, wow, oh. This is our time. Let's hear it, girls. Oh, wow, oh. This is my hip will stay hot.
Can I come and meet you, crush you on my land, and you ask me, who are you?
This moment, as you join in with us, God is going to dry your tears.
The Dominion Christian Fellowship Center, Asa Winger Global Ministry, Claraton Branch. Dominion, a true Bible believing church, where we speak nothing but the truth.
I know you are lying. God has another plan for your life.
At the Dominion Christian Fellowship Center, we show you the way to true salvation, deliverance, and miracle.
If they are not concerned about improving your life, moving your life to the next level, but rather for you to be used under that roof as an instrument of destruction, they're not happy.
You can find part of our divine worship service or hour of encounter every Sunday with your humble servant, Reverend Clarence T. Payne.
My present help in times of trouble. I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna lift your name. I'm gonna bless you. Calling all the women, every single woman, mother, auntie, or by means woman. Let us unite. Oh, wow, oh. This is our time. Let's hear it, girls. Oh, wow, oh. This is our time.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Superwoman, and we've been in discussion with Miss Lisa Martine Teise. And she's been telling us everything about her work she's doing, and she's up growing and everything. And before we went for the break, she was telling us her challenges in the newsroom. So, Lisa, continue your challenges in the newsroom.
Okay, thank you very much. Like I was saying to you, when I started, it was basically not bread and butter. It was not the sugar and tea kind of thing that people normally take in the morning to get fit to go to work. It was quite challenging because this is a male-dominated profession. So when you come into it and you start to do your practical and you start to go into the news, you sometimes feel weary. When I say you feel weary, because of the interaction you have with your male colleagues, they turn to discourage you. They bring all...
Why do they do that?
I really don't know, because I just feel that they have that notion that this particular profession should be male dominated, and they are forgetting to know that we as women too have a role to play, and we should come to this particular profession. It's not any one gender or so or sex dominated position or profession. So women too have the charisma. If that man is stronger and he's intelligent, a woman too is also that way. So will you want to stop her from not coming to this profession? No, I think it's wrong. So they will do all kinds of things and tell you, you're not able to write a story. I dare you, you're not able to write a story. But just trust me, when you write a story and it sounds good and the editor wants to take it, it will be like, it's like that guy wants you for some other purpose. Try to bring in the issue of maybe sexual harassment and stuff like that. So it always come up. So I received that. I had a lot of that challenge, sexual harassment in the media, from most of my male colleagues. Isn't that? I don't want to think that because I was beautiful. I want to think in my own mind that because they wanted to track me down, they wanted to place me in a corner that I would never talk. But I guess they didn't succeed. Everywhere in the media today you go, you ask my name, or you even call my name, you will not see fingers.
Lisa has become the household name.
Yeah, you will find out that this Lisa you're talking to today on the show, it has become a household name, and she's doing what she wants to do. So I don't want to believe that they were doing it because you are beautiful, or they are doing it. I think present day it still goes on. But who wants to tell that story? So the issue of confidentiality in the media of our quote unquote big brothers, big sisters. You don't want to say it out because you feel another person might hear it. So it has become so rotten within some of us. So you just want to say it out. Maybe you don't want to call the person name, but you want to tell the world that you've had this experience. And that's it. Some of those experiences were really, really nightmare for me, because when you went into a newsroom and the person tell you, I will want to sleep with you because I want to carry this story, and you just did that story because of your conscience. You want the world to know, or you want the people to know what's happening in what community. You want somebody to know. Then someone tells you, before I do this, let's do this. It's an exchange when you learn something. I think where the exchange come in is when you're giving someone an idea. But in this case, you're not going to give me any idea. I'm helping the station like you're helping the station also. So my work should be taken into consideration, and not for you to pin that as a point that you want to track me down. So I think a challenge in the media when I was coming, when I got into it, because now I don't see anybody who's able to stop this Lisa from moving what she wants to move.
I know, you see anybody can stop this Lisa
No, I don't see anybody.
But let's talk a little bit about, we know the challenge in the newsroom for women journalists has always been discrimination, sexual harassment, and reasons why they don't speak out as it's something is confidentiality. But I really want to know why. I don't know if you have that answer, but we can talk about it a little. Why our male counterpart do that? Why they do that? Why they even venture in that route? Because almost every female journalist have had an experience of sexual harassment.
Okay, so that's a good question. We can talk about that here. For me, like I said to you earlier, one reason they do it is to get women down.
It's not like because you're beautiful.
It's not because you're beautiful. Some men go after you because you're beautiful, but majority, if you check, they're not going after you because you're that beautiful. There are so many other beautiful women out there they would like to go after, but the point is they don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to bring them new. No, they don't want you in that space. They feel that space is too pressure. So somebody coming into the space will create another problem for them. So they feel too insecure when they see that kind of brilliant girl coming up, and what she thinks she's doing there.
They do another thing, find another way to be able to move her from that space to sexually harassing her.
They won't go that route. They will firstly come with that kind. I think you see ants bite before.
Yeah.
So that pause the ants bring when it wants to grab you, or the mosquito brings. That's how these guys come. They come like this. They create. They get on you like this, and if you don't sway your skin off, they're gonna hook you up. Definitely. So at the end of the day, you don't have a face. As soon as you go somewhere, and they know how to talk. You say the person know that journalists can lead all news. They're gonna discuss. At the end of the day, you are being pointed at. You are being stigmatized because you made a mistake, and you didn't even probably you came in the media not knowing that this would destroy you, or maybe your own self-confidence didn't drive you that way. But I think our young people who coming up in the media, especially we women, we should be conscious of these different things that come to us. They will always come, but the way you deal with them help you to succeed.
Let's talk a little bit about your political life. I know, and sometimes you ran for student president, senior class president for your school, and that was a tough race. I attended the debate and I saw how you stood up. How you felt in that space? As a politician.
That time I was a politician, but under my sleeves I was a journalist. But it was quite interesting. I would tell you that the race, I didn't make up my mind to go to the race until it was some week or two to the race, to the time of the elections, because we were contemplating on carrying this one force that we discussed. We decided I was almost like the coach on the team. I was trying to push other people. I say it cannot be me, it will not always be me. Let's push other people who are able to take up leadership role, because at the AME University they currently have the Coca-Cola Institute for Leadership and Innovation. I was the president of the institute at that time. So I wouldn't want to be seeing myself in the position that always I want to be in that space, always I want to be in that space. So I created a means that people will come up or I will push people to go there and I will support them. Because I tell you, I have my own constituents on campus. People like me, the way I go around them, and the space I created for myself, other people could fit in. So that was the way people came around, and people would always like to see, where's Lisa, and that's how I came. At the end of the time, we decided that I was like, God, this is yours. I'm not going to go into a race that I don't want to win. I want to win this race, and I'm going to try my utmost best to get into it. And when people heard my name on campus, they was like, wow, because only 2 guys at the time were the maybe famous kind of people,
famous politicians,
because one had already gone into the race from the previous senior class, but he didn't make it to graduate. So he maintained his posture in the next election, and that was our class time. So the other guy, we got information on campus that he had not completed his courses, but he was still forcing his way to probably get into the race. So I took up the challenge along with Arthur Douglas. Arthur Douglas now is the communication officer in the office of the First Lady of the Republic of Liberia. So he was my vice presidential candidate, and I was carrying one man, Abraham Winner. He was the Secretary General on the team. So I brought this idea, let's move this forward. What do we want to do for the students? Because I don't want to be asked a question during the debate, then I don't have an answer for the students. Why would people want to vote for a girl? And moreover, the perception that women, when they get into leadership, they turn their back, was actually the play on the university campus.
Definitely.
So we had a lot of senior students who were women. But were they willing and ready to support a female candidate with said perception that women, when they get into leadership, they turn their back? We embarked on that campaign. We tried to change the way they want to think, and moreover, we wanted to find means so at least they can be able to do something good for themselves. So we preached out great politics, and at the end of the day, we went to the process, and you watched the debate. So I think you are able to tell me what really happened during the debate. Even though I didn't win the elections, but I made some marks. After the election, I came up with an appreciation program that I appreciated everybody. We had some drink, and I offered to work with the senior class. Today, you go on AME University campus, my name remains a household name. My name is not just Lisa, but I am a scholar.
Wow, the prolific professor. We are coming close gradually to the end of this program, and you've said almost all from my end. So is there anything that I didn't ask you and you really like the audience to know?
Okay, what I would like the audience to know is my plea. We've been following the Sustainable Development Goals. I've not heard a lot more from the government in. It's only been on the side of the non-governmental organization, international NGOs and stuff like that. We need to step up our games. We need to create safe cities for women. Rape issue is alarming in Liberia. The issue of domestic violence is alarming. The issue of FGM is alarming. We watched so many scenes before. We've covered so many events. Are we prepared to go back to where we came from? I can say no. We want to move ahead. Until we can move ahead, we've been challenged as a country to be able to work out plans to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals until the years are ahead of us. Are we making strides? I want to tell Liberia, no, we're not making some strides. We need to step up our games. We need to change some policies that will enable us to reach our goals. So the goals are there. We need to take them one by one and be able to do it. And I want to challenge the Ministry of Gender. You have to move forward. You have to change some policies to be able to get women on board. Mentorship, you need to mentor women. Let women come on board, and we need to stop. Men, stop beating your wives. I learned 2 women died a few times in Banga and Buchanan because their husband, they mean their husbands in bed. So their husbands killed them. So we don't want any woman dying again. We want you to please stop beating your wife. Domestic violence is a crime.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And I like the way you ended. Amen. Stop hating on your wives. Domestic violence is indeed a crime.
Yeah.
So with this, we say thank you for viewing us, and we say that was how we came to the end of today's program. My guest has been Miss Lisa Martin, the prolific Professor Daisy, and I have been your host, Seattle Scott Johnson. Bidding you bye-bye for now.
Calling all the women, every single woman, mother,